Blizzard did add a few new maps, and I was looking at Loquo, I could never do his name right, Simon.
Yes, Simon.
He's one of the StarCraft 2 YouTubers, and like he tweeted that StarCraft 2 had its like best. It was like the best day in terms of match made, ranked stuff. I think it was 300 and something thousand matches.
Yeah.
And the previous day was like 160,000 matches. And it was like an all-time record for the Legacy of the Void period of time. And you look at that and you're just like, Blizzard, StarCraft 2 is still capable of beating its own records, and you've pulled the team off it. Come on. So that's why, knowing that there's a bunch of Team 1 people out there who have now got up to a total of 9.7 million in seed funding,
Brutal.
I mean, that's just great news. So,
Yeah.
exciting. You know, it's... I think really this topic with Omar and everything is... it harkens to our AAA video. Was he that?
No, it was actually, it was
What am I talking about? It was Adam.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which is right here.
Got that confused with the one that, the Sony one that you're thinking of doing. But yeah, here's the video.
It's called The AAA Rot is Ripping Through Talent, and it's effectively, I mean, I've frozen on this frame where it is Blizzard. It's, highlighting Dreamhaven's creation, but this video is basically all about that, where people who are kind of unsatisfied in their current roles because of a variety of reasons, be it crunch, be it like being undervalued compared to other things, or in the case of some devs, as we talk about in the video, like Jade Raymond from Ubisoft and EA, who hasn't been allowed to finish a game in like a decade or something, maybe beyond that. And it's just a case of whenever someone comes up with a better plan or a nicer feeling thing, that's just they're going to go there because they need to get games out, because this talent's only going to work if they're happy because they're making good games that they want to make and release. Otherwise, they're just going to go to other industries.
Yeah. So you can make so much more money with like, say, programming skills. You can make so much more money in like most other industries that use those skills.
So a lot less work involved too.
Yeah. So it's that sort of thing where one thing that's sad is the attrition that game development overall has to other industries. But a bright thing, sort of a bright side to this, is even if you are somebody who's very, very bearish on Blizzard right now and has a bunch of critiques, well, you could also say that drives out some of their most ambitious, best, brightest talent.
Yeah.
And there is now a pretty healthy, VC scene. The VC scene for games is very interesting. Maybe something to research and get into for the future. But there's a pretty damn vibrant venture capital scene for games that is obviously in SoCal going to be quite accessible to a bunch of these groups. And I think that just does mean that while we do have to take a few L's in the right now, a lot of those really great people who are perhaps constrained by their current working conditions or environment, whatever, they get to go off, do something else. So, can Omar Gonzalez have more impact when he moves over to Secret Door than perhaps he had at Blizzard, where, it's Blizzard. It's a really, really, really big company, and things just are... and it's not even Blizzard's fault for some things, where it's like, if you're just that large of a company, there just is management overhead. There just is big company stuff. Everyone who's worked in big company will know that. Yeah. So a bunch of these great people are being unleashed. We've got, what's her name? Nakamura.
Ikumi Nakamura.
Yeah, Ikumi Nakamura. She leaves.
Tango Gameworks.
Yes. Thanks for the assist.
Yeah, Tango Gameworks, who were owned by Bethesda.
Yeah, so like, she leaves Tango and gets to do her own studio. Jade Raymond has the whole Stadia debacle, is now running her own studio that's Sony backed.
Called Haven, which is not in any way easy to confuse with Dreamhaven.
Yeah, so we're seeing that thing where, Bonfire. Anthony just said that in chat as well. Bonfire. Remember Bonfire?
I don't remember.
Dude, Bonfire's Rob Pardo.
Who's that again?
Rob Pardo was was he a VP? At Blizzard? But I think Bonfire, is that where Wei Wang went to? Because
I don't think Campfire, don't think this
there,
is going to work.
No, it's there. It's bonfirestudios.com. You'll know it because it's got absolutely gorgeous splash art. Which I think is Way. You'll see him in like WoW art books and stuff.
Well, yeah, Now,
Yeah.
now I visualize the name. I know who you're talking about.
Yeah, there it is. So
Oh,
that's
yeah.
that's another ex-Blizzard studio.
Yes.
One that notably has existed for a long-ass time and has said absolutely nothing about what they're doing.
Good.
And I think what's interesting there is Rob Pardo, I think through his position at Blizzard, he's going to be very well connected.
Yeah.
I mean, right. All of those guys are very well connected. And if you're there in like the SoCal scene. So I just have to wonder, like, how much runway did Bonfire get? How far are they going to go? What is this game going to be when they finally let us know what it is? So yeah, this is all to say that, you know, we see the likes of, you know, Omar leaving and stuff, and, you know, it could be spun as bad news.
Yeah.
It also can be spun as very good news, because it means these people have gained all of these skills, now have gained some freedom, and are now able to do cool shit with their skills.
Yeah, it's fundamentally that it's like it's in the meantime it's bad for Blizzard and bad for World of Warcraft that they've lost this figure, but for us as people who want to play games that those people like to make, because obviously it's like it's Blizzard moving over and moving on in a sense. So the fact that there's this, like, it's almost like before there was no catchment for all these devs, and like a lot of them were, you know, left the industry for whatever reason, or like Jason Schreier says how many people he knows that like were developers that were forced out because of crunch and things like that. They went, nah, I'm gonna go do something that's, you know, like I can have a family and do, instead of working for, you know, the big incumbent AAAs. And now there's like this massive net for all of them who are like falling out of the industry, and it just catches them at the end and funnels them into any of these studios that all of these, like, the almost like the executive level who were there at the start and founded everything, that are off going, you know what, I'm going to retire, and then 1 week into retirement are like, I'm really bored, I'm gonna go make a game. Let me get out the phone book of other executive level people who all now have millions because of like their stock in these big companies. Like, all right, do you wanna come make a game? All right, bring your 20 best, and suddenly you've got like California, Texas, even up, not New York, one of like the more middling states is just full of studios now, from all of this catchment of like exciting new things to come. That's just taking a bit of a. It's almost like the medicine's bitter to swallow when people leave, but it'll help in the long term.
Yeah. So there you go. Omar's on his merry way, and hopefully everybody involved goes on to do great things.
I imagine so.